Hello and welcome back to Race Recap. My name is Jackson. This past weekend we had the NTT Indycar Series racing on the streets of Long Beach. And like yesterday's video, we do not have the track description yet, and I say yet because in tomorrow's video, which is the IMSA race at Long Beach, we will be able to see both the Long Beach description and the Australian circuit description. Now, the race, it's a street course, 85 laps. The first caution was brought out pretty early on, around lap number 5, when the number 4 K-line car of Dalton Kellett went wide into turn number 1, and he barely clipped the tire wall, which then sent him hard into the concrete wall. And we think if those tires weren't there, he probably would have been able to keep it out of the wall or just brush it. And this did, though, end his day. Then there was no caution a few laps later when the 3 of Scott McLaughlin in the notorious hairpin turn, it's like a sharp turn, like a 360 or a 180 almost, he clipped the inside wall and spun out, but was able to keep going after just losing a couple of positions. And then the next incident was a no caution in that same hairpin turn. This time it was the 29 of Devlin DeFrancesco, the rookie. He also hit the inside wall, and this time had some suspension damage, and that did end his day after the spin. And then there was no caution when Colton Herta in the 26, he was leading the race at a couple points and had a very fast car. He was coming off of pit road and was trying to keep up with the leaders, just cooked it a little too hot into the turn, and he slammed the outside wall. And I was surprised there was no caution because there was a lot of debris on track. Herta was able to get to a runoff area, but I think the Indycar officials were just letting it run green while there were green flag pit stops going on, and they would have probably thrown a caution. We don't know because the second caution happened a couple laps later. It was a full course yellow. The 60 Meyer Shank racing car of Simon Pagenaud spun out in the gardens in turns 2 and 3, which is just a fountain surrounded by flowers, and he was able to keep it out of the flowers until he gassed it up trying to get it back going, and then got high centered on the concrete and flowers. Then when they got back going, they were under 20 laps to go when the number 8 of Mark X. Erickson hit hard into the outside wall, bending his left rear tire, and that would end his day. And when he tried to get down off the track, he pulled right in front of the 9 of Scott Dixon, his Chip Ganassi teammate. They made a little contact. Dixon was able to get away without any real damage, but Erickson had to pull off and end his day. And then they could not make it all the way to the end before a third full course caution, the 48 of Jimmie Johnson, who had not had a good weekend. He wrecked a couple times in practice and qualifying, actually hurt his wrist, was fortunate to be able to race. He spun out during turn number 9, and he hit the tire wall, and there was nowhere to go for rookie, the 18 of David Malukas, who also got caught up in this. And then lastly, the fourth caution happened. It ended the race as they were coming across the white flag. The leaders were, that is. The 51 of Takuma Sato nosed it hard into the tire wall in turn number 9. And the checker flags went to the 2 car of Joseph Newgarden. Top 10 here were Joseph Newgarden, Romain Grosjean, Alex Palou, Will Power, Pato Award, Scott Dixon, Graham Rahal, Alexander Rossi, Elio Castroneves, and rookie Kyle Kirkwood. Great finish for him, round out top 10 in that number 14 car. DNFs in this race, Takuma Sato was out for the accident. So was Jimmie Johnson, David Malukas, Marcus Ericsson, Colton Herta. Callum Ilott didn't see him get involved in any accidents on track, but he might have run over some debris that happened after Colton Herta's incident. And then Devlin DeFrancesco and Dalton Kellett. Well, that's all for Race Recap. Come join us in about 2 or 3 weeks when the NTT IndyCar Series races next in the Grand Prix of Barber in Barber, Alabama.